Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. It's been a long time since I last uploaded. I have no excuses, but it is what it is. Life gets in the way and I just haven't been making videos. That's all I can say. But today we are gonna be filming a video. I've just recently bought myself a polisher. I plan on polishing my car today, giving it a good detail because this Sunday I've been invited to a car meet. Jordan, who owns Slam UK, actually messaged me on Instagram and said it'd be cool if I turned up and showed my face. And it's really awesome. I'm privileged. I feel honored that he went out of his way to actually message me and invite me along, which is pretty cool. So I didn't think I'd see any sort of shows this year, but this has come up, so I'm gonna try and give my car a good detail. I've had the car for about 1.5 years now, give or take. I haven't actually polished it yet. I haven't clay barred it. So in today's video, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'll quickly show you the stuff that I'll be using today, and hopefully the aim of this video is to teach you guys a thing or two about polishing, and hopefully you can then go ahead and take those tips and use it on your car itself. There's nothing more satisfying than having a clean paint job. I work with paint because I'm a paint technician at work. I like having a nice clean paint job, but I don't want to waffle on. I'm going to show you what I've bought. This is the dual action polisher that I've gone with. I've also included a couple of bits and pieces to do the job. I'll first just start off with showing you the quick detailer. This is going to be used with the clay bar. So the point of the clay bar is to remove all the contaminants that's sitting on the surface. When you wash your car, it might look like it's clean, but the next time you wash your car, rub your hand along the paintwork. If it feels like sandpaper, then more than likely there's going to be contaminants on there, like tar, just loads of residue, road traffic film, like stuff like that. Just any sort of contaminants. Yeah, you want to get rid of that before you start machine polishing, because you're just pretty much polishing over the contaminants and you're not actually removing it, if that makes sense. I've also got some tire gel, got some microfiber pads, a couple of discs, light medium polishing pad. I've got the cutting pad here, tire dressing applicator. These are the compounds that I'll be using today. Maguire stuff is really awesome. You can't fault Maguire stuff. They know their stuff. I've got the ultra cutting compound, so that's what's gonna remove all the defects, all the swirls, and that shouldn't leave any holograms or any swirl marks, but if it does, you can then move on to the ultra finishing polish stage. So that will be your last coat. This is what you guys want to see. This is the big boy, this is the beast. At work, I actually use a rotary polisher, but this is a dual action polisher. So the difference is the rotary, in a nutshell, it's a bit more aggressive. If you don't know what you're doing, then you could easily rub through your paintwork, and that's a no-go. So I believe this is a more sort of friendly polisher. I could have gone with a rotary, but I thought I'd give this a go. I've never used a dual action polisher, so it's gonna take a little bit more time. This should oscillate. So when this spins, the difference between a dual action and the rotary spins on one axis, just a complete circle. It just rotates and rotates. Sorry, is that the right rotation for you guys? Yeah, it spins clockwise. So it spins in one axis, but the dual action polisher actually rotates in different axes. So it's sort of doing this motion. So it's sort of, you know, it's always moving in a different axis so that there's not a lot of pressure on one side, if that makes sense. I'm hoping I'm making a lot of sense. I know what I'm doing because I do this at work, but if you guys know what you're doing, then rotary is probably the quicker way, the quicker method. But yeah, I thought I'd give this a go. I need to wash the car. The car's been sat on my drive for the past 2 weeks. I haven't been driving it, and yeah, it's got a lot of dirt on the wheels. There's bird shit everywhere. So yeah, come join me. What's good, everybody? I'll be doing a commentary again today. I only had a couple of hours to do the whole job, so I had to wash the car, clay bar it, machine polish it and wax it. I think in total it took me about 4 hours, which is not too bad, but I was kind of rushing it. And as I will mention in the video later, I didn't actually end up using the heavy cut compound, which was a relief because I just didn't have enough time to go through the different stages. But luckily, I'm happy how it came out. But before I start getting into it, I hope everyone's doing okay. The whole lockdown thing has been just a roller coaster for everybody, including myself. I've been back at work for about a month now, and it's just crazy trying to get used to you know, follow the rules, stuff like that. It's been really hectic trying to sort of go back into normality. I'm sorry if some of you have lost your jobs or you have lost loved ones. I don't personally know anyone who's had the COVID-19, but which is a good thing. But on the brighter side, a lot of places are now uplifting the lockdown, including England. So as of today, the 4th of July, pubs are now open, restaurants are now open. Pretty much, you know, everyone's going back into normality, but I'm a little bit annoyed that the gyms aren't allowed open yet. It's just a little bit backwards to me that pubs are allowed to open and gyms aren't. I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather, you know, get a workout in than drinking a couple of pints, but that's just me anyway. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well, and thank you for choosing to come back and watching my videos again. I know I always have different phases, but yeah, again, I can't stress it enough. It's just life gets in the way, and I've just been trying to sort my own life out. And yeah, but we're gonna keep making videos. It's not like I'm not trying to pursue YouTube as a full-time career. I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing, and I think making videos is just a hobby, but who knows, later down the line that it could become something a bit more serious. So obviously the first thing you want to do, you've seen me washing the car, you want to use the 2-bucket method. You would normally use the grit guard on the clean bucket of water, but I don't have a grit guard. The grit guard is normally used to collect all the shit that's on your wash mitt, but I'm going to be polishing it anyway, and I'm quite happy that I'm not leaving a lot of swirl marks because I always use a 2-bucket method when I'm washing the car. So there's no need for the grit guard. Like I said, I will be machine polishing it. So it's all down to you guys how like properly, how anal you want to be about it. I shouldn't really say that word, but yeah. So you want to use a 2-bucket method. Just keep try not to wash your car in direct sunlight. I know it's sometimes unavoidable, but you just got to keep the surface nice and wet so that it doesn't dry off. But yes, so wash your car. Use a good soap. I've been using Maguire's and also Finesse stuff for many years now, and I can't fault them. Use the products that work for you, and just experiment and see what you like. So once you're done with the washing stage, we're now moving on to the clay bar, and as I mentioned before, the clay bar is used to remove all the road contaminants, and you want to do that right before the machine polishing stage so you've got the best substrate to work with. You want to work in circular motions, working one panel at a time, and you want to keep your clay bar lubricated. The last thing you want to do is going in dry, and yeah, the last thing you want to do is going in dry. You want to keep your panel lubricated. I was going to use a detailing spray, but I chose to use a bucket of soapy water. I didn't use the dirty water from the car wash. I actually went ahead and put new soapy water into one of the buckets, and I used that as my lubricant, and that works just as well as the detailing spray. So you don't want to put too much pressure on the clay bar because you're not trying to rub the paintwork off. You are literally just gliding it. You want to keep the clay bar well lubricated, and you just want to let it glide, let it do its thing, and just work each panel. And after each panel, check the clay bar, and you'll see all the shit that's coming off your paintwork. Sometimes you can't see it, sometimes you can, and that's the beauty of the clay bar. It literally removes everything on there, and it's like magic. This is the second time I've ever clay barred a car. I did my Mini once, but yeah, that was really bad. It was covered in tar, it was covered in all sorts of shit, but this one, the S2000, was quite alright. It's a little bit more time consuming because it's a bigger car. The hood is so long, but yeah, those are the 2 care points really. So make sure not to put too much pressure, and you need to make sure that the clay bar is lubricated. Once you are done with the clay bar stage, you can now move on to the machine polishing stage, which is, in my personal opinion, the best part, because a lot of people at my work hate the polishing stage and stuff like that. I find my whole job very therapeutic, so I enjoy every single stage, like masking, spraying, polishing, cleaning up, all that stuff. I actually do enjoy my job, so which just makes it a lot easier for me to do it on my own car, because I don't feel stressed doing it. I do enjoy it, and I do take, you know, pride in my job. I'm very passionate about cars, so that's my sort of tip for you guys today. Aside from this video, if you want to, you know, be successful at life, then you want to try and follow your passions. You want to, you know, be happy at what you do. There's no point in doing something that you don't like. Life is too short. I mean, I'm 26 and I would hate to be doing something that doesn't add any value to me. I just want to tell you guys that it is possible to do something that you want to do. You just have to find what you like to do and go for it, pretty much. I know it's easier said than done, but I've been through it. Before my job now, I was in a very unhappy job. I didn't like it. People were miserable, and as a result of that, I ended up leaving that job, and through hard work and determination, I landed a sick-ass job at this place I work with now, and I couldn't be happier. So yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I just want to say to you guys, just if this is now your chance, if lockdown, if you lose your job, if you want to leave your job, you can. It's probably not the best idea, but if you're unhappy, maybe you can start a new venture, and yeah, who knows what's going to happen. Best way to progress is to dive into the unknown, and I do believe that. So but let's not go into that. That's a little bit too deep. So we'll go back into the video. Machine polishing stage is very straightforward. Again, if you don't know what you're doing, it's very simple. All you have to do is just pretty much watch what I do. Use plenty of polish, not to the point where you end up saturating the pad. You want to add 5 beats to the pad, and this is what they call priming the pad. And you can rub the polish or the compound on the pad, but I don't bother doing that. I just get it on the panel. You can either dab it on different areas of the panel. Again, you want to work panel by panel. You should never do a whole area unless you want to, but I advise you doing panel by area until you are very happy with your technique and everything like that. So what I do is I put it on the panel, I stick it on the lowest setting, and I literally just cover the panel in polish. And you just want to keep doing that. You want to cover the whole panel so that it's covered in polish. And then once I'm happy with that, I crank it up to a medium fast setting. On this polisher, I went up to I think 5 to 6, and then you want to work in light motions. Don't put too much pressure on the pad. Again, let the machine do the work. Just hold it. It's quite heavy, so the pressure's there. There's also an interface pad between the foam pad and the machine polisher head, so don't put too much pressure, otherwise you might run the risk of rubbing through your paint, and we don't want that. That's no good, because you will end up having to do a spot repair or repaint that whole panel, so don't do that. So you want to work it horizontally, just going back and forth, and then you can also go up and down, and just keep doing this. Make sure that the panel isn't hot. If you're getting the panel too hot, then that means you're burning through the clear coat, and that's what we're trying to eliminate here. Use the back of your hand just to sort of check the temperature of the panel. If you're worried, just keep checking it, but just make sure light even passes, and just go nice and slow and let the machine do the work. And do that throughout the whole car, bit by bit, section by section. And after each pass, the best way to check if the polish is ready is when it starts to go off, and you can actually rub the polish off. And it's hard to explain. It's the whole point of the polish is it's breaking down after amount of time. And once it's finished, you can actually wipe the panel, and it should go clear after a couple of minutes of actually machine polishing it. I hope that makes sense. And then you can wipe it off with a very plush microfiber cloth. You can do multiple passes on different panels. At work, I only do one pass or a couple of passes because we are working with soft paint, whereas for instance this S2000, it's a 2005, so it's a 15-year-old car. The clear coat, it's well and truly cured, so you might have to use a more aggressive compound depending on the defects on your own panel. But with my car, luckily the paintwork was all right. There's a couple of defects, but I won't be able to eliminate them without having to dry sand or doing a flow coat on top and then detailing it again. But I'm working with what I have. I don't really like the color personally, and sometimes I'm in love with the color. It's like a 50-50. You know, I'm grateful for the car. I am, you know, saving up for a respray or potentially a wrap. Who knows, later down the line I do want to do a color change. I thought I'm going to try and make it look as clean as possible for this show, because it's the only show I'm going to this year, so why not sort of put some effort in and give it a good polish. I know you might have noticed that it's missing the front lip, and that's because I actually went ahead and got that sprayed by in a body shop somewhere, because I can't spray anything at my work, so I had to go to someone else and spray it. And the reason why I got someone to spray it was because my rattle can job wasn't good enough. I think I knew I went wrong. I think I didn't key up the plastic enough, or the plastic promoter, adhesive promoter wasn't good enough. There was a number of factors, plus, you know, I wasn't really achieving a good enough finish with the rattle can, so I actually sent that away, and I've got the lip back now. I've still got to put it on. I also raised the car for this drive with Jordan a while back, but now I have re-slammed the car, so that car is much lower again, and it's shocking how much difference lowering a car by a couple of inches actually makes a massive difference. It's so much nicer. A lot of people question me, like, how do you drive like that, or things like that, but they don't understand how, you know, practical driving a slammed car is for the S2000. It doesn't really rub, it doesn't like bottom out on anything. Yes, I can't go over speed bumps, but speed bumps are gay, so whoever invented those is yeah, I'll say no more. So who needs speed bump these days? Like, the Japanese don't have speed bumps, and they have ultra slammed cars, and if I was living in Japan right now, I'd be all over it. My car would literally be on the floor, and I wouldn't give two shits about it, because it just looks cool. And yeah, enjoy life, enjoy what you do, enjoy cars, and don't worry about what everyone says. So yeah, so now we've done with the machine polishing stage, guys. You want to pretty much just make sure all the panels are clean. Keep using a microfiber towel. In so many times in this video, because it was so windy. For some reason in England right now, it's like, I don't know, fucking gale storm out here. Always like over 25-mile-an-hour winds, so all my microfibers kept landing on the floor. I had to keep getting fresh new ones. Make sure when you're wiping down the car that your microfibers are clean. They're not full of like sand, dirt, like little twigs, little like leaves, stuff like that. Just make sure. Again, I think I've got OCD, so I'm always checking my microfibers so that I don't end up scratching my freshly machine polished paintwork. So you want to wipe it down, remove any polish dust, and then you can actually go ahead and polish the car. I used Auto Finesse. I can't remember the exact one, because there's so many carnauba waxes out there that Auto Finesse do, but the one I actually I've had for a year and a half now. I think it's really broken down in the tub. I think it still works, but it smells really, really nice. The care point for using wax is less is always more. You want to add enough but not too much wax onto the panel, and it's the same for clay barring. You want to work panel by panel, just circular motions, light pressure with the wax applicator. You just want to go ahead and use that all the way around the car. And there's not much more I could say from the waxing stage. It's very time consuming. You can use a machine polisher to do that on a low setting or a high setting. I'm not too sure, because I've always applied wax using it by hand, so it works well for me. It's very time consuming, but I know that it works. And yeah, guys, just experiment with detailing. It's a lot of fun. You know, you're learning about the car, you're learning about different products, you're learning best ways to keep your car clean. And yeah, I enjoy that stuff. I'm having to clean my car like once a week these days, because where I park my car, it's parked underneath a tree, and yeah, birds just always end up just shitting on the car, and it's really annoying. So I'm thinking about getting a car cover soon, but yeah, but it is what it is. We'll just keep washing it because it's fun. Yeah, wax the car, leave it to dry for about 30 to 35 minutes, depending on the air temperature, depending on how much you've put on. You can double them up, but you have to make sure that the first coat of wax is fully cured and buffed off. And to test that, it's the same with the polish. You can check with your finger. If you smear it and if it goes clear, then that means the wax is ready to be removed. Yeah, just have fun with it, guys. I actually didn't end the video today, but I waxed the car, I cleaned it, I buffed it all off, and I actually went ahead and did a photo shoot. I recently bought myself a new lens, and I'm really happy with it. So I hope this video hasn't been too long. I'll put some images up on the screen now of what the paintwork looks like, and I hope you guys like it. It has been edited, but it just goes to show that yeah, clean paintwork can go a long way. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I don't know when I will be back. It could be next week, it could be next month. I know I said I'll be making videos every week, but I've got another week at work, and then after that I think I've got a couple of weeks off, so who knows. I feel like I've always built my car for shows, but maybe that's why I haven't been doing any more to it. But I am in the sort of process of saving money as well, because I do have plans for this car. We're gonna address that issue when we cross that bridge. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I hope you have a good rest of your day or night or morning or whatever you're watching. So I'll catch you later. If you like this video, then make sure to hit the like button, and if you're a new viewer, then make sure to click the subscribe button. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.